Yep. All right.
Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for appearing tonight. Let me start with a simple question. Can floodwaters entering the reef from the 28 river systems that discharge onto the reef in a rain event, such as a tropical cyclone, cause coral bleaching either through fresh water itself or very low floodwater temperature or high nutrient levels or turbidity or sediment?
There can certainly be inshore freshwater bleaching from flood events, Senator.
And Senator, we did see some of that this year with the cyclones in the north. It's
true, isn't it, that corals also bleach from water that is too cold. I can remember in June of 2008 there were record cold temperatures in various parts of Queensland and the Northern Territory, including southern Queensland, and the southern Great Barrier Reef bleached because of the cold weather.
I'm not sure of that particular example, Senator, but yes, bleaching is certainly a stress response.
Yep.
It can be triggered by a range of different things. Most recently, though, our biggest concerns have been about warmer waters, not colder waters.
Okay. Was any of the coral bleaching evident on the reef in the first quarter of 2024 caused by freshwater and salt intrusion?
Yes, as Mr Quincy said, probably because of flood events prior and post-Christmas in the north. There would have been some inshore freshwater bleaching. I don't have specific details of that in front of me, though.
Okay, thank you. Was any of this coral bleaching in the first quarter caused by pesticides or other chemical runoff from farming areas?
Direct attribution of those impacts, Senator, would be difficult for me to provide you here today, but we could take some of that information on that question on notice.
Please. According to a paper from the University of Queensland, simplified, quote, the most devastating mass coral bleaching has occurred during El Niño events. However, El Niño itself does not cause sea surface temperature rise in all regions that experience bleaching, nor is the upper ocean warming trend of 0.11 degrees centigrade per decade since 1971 sufficient alone to exceed the thermal tolerance of corals. This paper shows a major contributing factor is the El Niño reducing cloud cover, causing higher than average air temperatures and higher than average atmospheric pressures, which plays a crucial role in the extent and location of coral bleaching on the reef. End of quote. Fair statement?
I'm not aware of that particular paper. Senator, did you say it was University of Queensland?
Yes.
I'm not aware of it, I'm sorry, but we'd be very interested to read more about it.
We can get it to you?
Yes, please.
Do you accept natural cyclical ENSO events play a crucial role in coral bleaching?
Senator, we would have to defer to climate scientists around the particular localised impacts and how they've played out on the Great Barrier Reef.
Localised impacts, not global?
Well, how those significant meteorological phenomena impact the Great Barrier Reef in particular, I would need to consult with other relevant experts on that.
According to the Bureau of Meteorology, 124 years of Australian rainfall, there's no trend, there's no pattern, it's just cyclical. There's no trend whatsoever. Down, up, it's just natural variation influenced by cycles. In the last 5 years, we've had 3 La Niñas. Your website under Coral Bleaching Explained makes the comment, quote, the biggest cause of coral bleaching in the past 20 years has been rising water temperatures, end of quote. On notice, if you wish, please provide how much has water temperature increased in the last 20 years, average and range, showing any spikes that may have occurred?
Thank you, Senator. We would take that on notice.
Thank you. Something like that, maybe?
Yes, I'm not sure I can reproduce that exactly, but we'll certainly take it.
Oh, no, I wouldn't expect you to reproduce it.
On your website.
We will certainly try to take it.
Thank you. And have you tested those spiked temperatures that may have led to bleaching against the ENSO cycle? Have you correlated them?
I couldn't answer now, but we would most likely consult with our colleagues in not only the Bureau of Meteorology but CSIRO and Australian Institute of Marine Science who do some of that work.
So we're not the authors of some of these reports, Senator. We work with those relevant institutions. We pull that information together. We try and synthesise it and make the best assessments we can on how we can hone our programs and better manage the Great Barrier Reef into the future. But some of the specificity in the science you're referring to, we really would need to speak to some of our experts.
Last question, Chair. The bleaching impact statement on your website, which you describe as, quote, a framework to describe and categorise coral bleaching on the Great Barrier Reef, end of quote, only includes one factor, heat stress, which you attribute to climate change, ignoring these other crucially important factors. Is this about blaming bleaching on climate change, which is well funded, and ignoring the role of natural cycles, which carry no funding? We've heard the United Nations say the planet is now boiling.
So is your question about our framework for understanding coral bleaching limited to heat stress?
Yes, it seems that it's only limited to heat stress.
Senator, it has it there as heat stress, but the exposure box, the subtleties of exactly what you're talking about light intensity and exposure and cloud cover. Also on our website, we really try to convey that local and regional weather in particular places has a large bearing on the outcomes that we see each summer, and those factors play into that.
Thank you.